Hello everyone, I want to take you on a garden tour of this beautiful garden that I found behind a restaurant that I've just went for lunch at here in the Niagara Escarpment. So I want to take you through it, show you some of the beautiful landscape and just allow you to enjoy it with me. Just outside the parking lot, and to start off our tour I just wanted to show you all the grapes that are here and ready to be made into wine. Hello, I'm at a farm, a restaurant actually that has the most beautiful grounds. It's located in the Niagara region, up on the bench. The Niagara region, for my American friends, is an area where we grow lots of grapes and fruit here in Ontario, Canada. You can see up here at the top here, this is the Niagara Escarpment, so this goes all the way from the bottom of Ontario up to the top of Georgian Bay up in Tobermory, and you can actually hike this entire ridge from
Niagara.
all the way up to Tobermory. It's called the Bruce Trail. Many people do it. I have a friend who's doing it right now from end to end. You can do it in segments, so it's really enjoyable. But what I wanted to do was show you how beautiful the grounds are. It's an overcast day with a beautiful haze. It's coming through all the layers of the land. And if I'm quiet here for a second, you'll be able to hear all of the guns. What those guns do is they're meant to scare away the birds. So I'm standing here, this is their peach orchard, and you can see as you look down the rows, the grass is here, and then all along the edge of the actual trees they have lots of weeds that grow up, and all part of orchard management. And then what I wanted to do was just take you down to a little garden that we discovered, so you can see just how beautiful it is when you start to plan out food and crops together. So we're just on the edge of where the garden sits. Over here is where the restaurant is. This is a wine tasting room, and then there's actually a private residence over to the left. Let's see if I can add a little bit more light in here. And you can see there's different applications that they've done on the fence. There's like a short fence here. It's about 2.5, 3 feet. On this side it's 4 feet tall, but it's the lattice work. And in areas they have hay bales that have supported it, and they have grapes that are growing over the side. I'll just give you a close-up of that. So here's the grapes, so beautiful, just cascading over this fence. And you can see they've got this beautiful table that they've put in there, and then in the background you can see the beautiful Niagara Escarpment. Now we'll go in and I'll show you what this garden looks like from the interior, but just, is that not the most beautiful view you could imagine? One of the unique things about this garden is the fact that they have used these paving stones, and this is very common to find these slate stones here in Ontario. When you're digging anywhere, you just find them in the ground, because this was often this was Lake Ontario at one point, and that ridge that you see over there was the shoreline. So there's different parts where you'll find lots of sand. You'll also find different types of big flagstones like this. So we'll just go inside the gate and I'll take you through. Pretty little gate here. And immediately when you come in, one of the things that's quite beautiful is in the corners they have these beautiful little pots just sitting there looking so cute. And then they have 2 beds here which are mirrored. So there's a total of 4 beds, and each one of these beds is about 4 feet by either 10 or 12 feet. So quite large. They have a mixture of both vegetables and flowers. You can see these lovely cosmos. It's like this one is painted. How beautiful those are. I did these ones last year but didn't have a lot of success, but that's so beautiful. They also have some sunflowers, some kale, and then also some nasturtiums. Lots of things that have started to just die back. It is mid-October, so things do start to change at this time of the year. And as you can see, there's that table and chairs, and I'll take you up a little closer. Now, I just showed you the 4 beds on the left. On this side here, you can see that there's another set of beds that look exactly the same. And then over in the back, they have 1, 2, 3, same size, but going the other direction. And then these 2 smaller ones. They were also using hay bales to grow plants inside, and Joe the gardener, he does that with his tomatoes, but in this one they've got flowers in it, so quite lovely. Got some beautiful, I believe that's alyssum, some marigolds, lots of beautiful tomatoes, lots and lots of nasturtiums. So nasturtiums, you can eat the flowers, you can eat the leaves. Many people just grow them because they help with the whole bug distribution here. And this looks like it's some kind of, I bet you it's either cucamelons or cucumbers in there. I don't want to put my hand in anything because if you're a gardener, you know that touching someone else's garden is not a good thing. Got chives on either side of the garden, and as this garden goes up the hill, what they've done is they've used that space for squash. You can see that one's already passed on, but you can see the squash still growing here, and it's a great use of the space because it just allows you to not have to create a bed and have a great space for your squash to grow nice and large. Up here in the corners by this table, there's these 4 architectural interesting pieces. They are made out of steel, and you can see there's some forks on it, and I'm not sure if there's lights that come on it, but it is quite lovely. The other thing is underneath the table there is, it looks like one of those walkable mosses, could even be like a thyme. Just beautiful, and I just love the way that this table is like the center point for this garden, which is perfect if you were doing a custom wine tasting up in the garden. More garden beds over here, 1, 2 nice big ones growing tomatoes, same size. And then in the back here, a little harder to get to, there's a couple more beds. The asparagus, which of course is the perennial part of the garden. In the back corner there are some snapdragons, more nasturtiums, a whole bunch of beautiful sunflowers, and behind the actual asparagus there's some zinnias. Let's see if we can show you. Here are the beautiful zinnias. Look at the different colors in this patch. It's beautiful. And just to give you a perspective, looking back over there, you can still see how lovely that is. Got the asparagus just blowing in the wind. A couple more of the beds over there with the snapdragons as well as the sunflowers. And then also down at my feet is a nice little patch of rhubarb. So again, just a lovely use of layers within this garden, both from multiple garden beds, having a way for the tall plants to actually create a sort of a separate garden here at the back, the presence for this beautiful table and chair set, as well as the use of stone and straw to actually protect the ground so you don't get muddy. And just what I love is the fact that they have, instead of trying to say, well, this ground isn't even, they've actually used it in such a way that they've got a lower garden and a higher garden, and have used that table to just give it that presence. So beautifully, beautifully done. Garden, like the way that they even have the post for a hose holder. And again, here is their compost area. And they also have a bunch of raspberries along this pathway right here. And then just walking back over to the garden. So thanks for joining me on this cute little garden tour. Hope that you appreciate the beauty that you can find just sometimes when you step outside of what you know regularly. Just such a beautiful location with the bench here in front of me, as well as the escarpment in the background. So thanks for joining me today in this cute little garden here in Niagara, enjoying both the escarpment and all of the beauty that's in front of us. Let me know what you particularly loved about this garden and what you might do differently. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on putting a table and chairs right in the middle of your garden. If that's something that you'd see yourself building a garden like this. I do love the fact that it is totally enclosed and private, keeps the somewhat of the animals out, but allows you to also have this space that you can sort of retreat to the garden. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Google loves those algorithms, and as well, I'd love to hear all of your comments. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow along. We'd love to have you for this wonderful journey as we adventure into homesteading and all different things that have to do with the beauty of food and nature and how it all comes together to build a beautiful, fulfilling life. Take care, everyone.